Alright guys, welcome back to Double Take Debate. In this segment I wanted to talk UFC. It's been a while since we've touched on it, but there was a big event only a few nights ago now involving GSP pretty much destroying Nate Diaz, but not in the same dominant fashion we've seen from GSP. Yeah, he had him to the ground, but he did get hit. His face did get touched, and Nate Diaz put the hurt on him a couple times. But it never looked in question that GSP wouldn't win the fight, constantly taking his opponent to the ground and even trying to go strike for strike with Nate Diaz. It was just a bit disconcerting because GSP, before the injury, was considered almost unbeatable. There was no flaws, there were no weaknesses. You could not get to him, you could not mark his face. He would leave some fights looking untouched. So a skilled fighter nonetheless. Nate Diaz definitely showed he can be got to. Okay, maybe not, he wasn't beaten, but he can be got to. And it's now what's next for GSP. In my opinion, it has to happen now. The super fight of Anderson Silva, which has been rumoured for years, just about going on 6 years really. The fight between Anderson Silva and GSP, more likely than Anderson Silva and John Jones, I would have thought. And I think it has to happen soon because they're both moving on into the, I want to say I don't want to say twilight of their careers, but age is not on their side. There's a younger generation coming through. And this fight will only hold... It needs to happen before they pass their primes. Like we saw with Mayweather and Pacquiao in boxing, no one's no longer interested in that because Pacquiao, it seems to most, has passed his prime and he's on a decline. No one wants to see that anymore. We want to see GSP while he's still in very good shape. Anderson Silva just seems to get better and better with time. But it'd be great to see him tested against an amazing fighter, an unbelievable wrestler in GSP. Problem is, you've now got Hendricks and Ellenberger, who had a great showing at UFC 158, both chomping at the bit to get at GSP. That could be a potential roadblock, but you'd have to think Dana White would want to arrange GSP v Silva over both those fights. But more so with Hendricks, how long can you deny him the opportunity to go for the title? That's the problem. But I think this fight has to happen. I hope GSP, it's only been 2 fights back since his injury. I hope he can round back a little bit more into shape and really get back to who he was. But it seems he's lost a fraction of his explosiveness, raw speed and power. He's still the best in his division, but he's just missing that slight cutting edge. I'm hoping it comes back with training and getting back used to fighting. Because if he really can get to that level and Anderson Silva maintains where he's at, what an awesome fight it would be. I'd still go with Anderson Silva to win just because when I watch him, he makes a mockery of anyone. I know Chael Sonnen, you know, what seems like an eternity ago, nearly beat him. But Anderson Silva just seems to know how to beat everyone and anyone and how to land, even if it's just a jab, that perfect shot to put them down and finish a fight. But what a fight it would be. I really look forward to seeing what you guys think should be the next step for GSP. Who should get the title shot? Should it be, for instance, Hendricks? Or should it be a super fight with Silva? Because the UFC definitely has been flirting with the idea of a super fight for a while. And I think with boxing toiling around at the moment, a super fight would really push UFC to the forefront of fight fans, you know, mind what they think of when they think of live fighting. So a super fight, I think, would be great for the UFC, great for the sport, great for competition. Whether it will happen is, of course, another question. I'd love to see it happen. I think both fighters would be up for it. But yeah, UFC, GSP, Anderson Silva, let me know what you guys think.